Hello and welcome to You Asked. I'm your host, Kevin Shaw, and I'd like to welcome you to part two of our session of Young Men 101. Today, we're going to be talking about the three C's. The three C's being confidence, charisma, and competence. Confidence, charisma, and competence. So, without further ado, let's get started. So, the first thing we're going to talk about is confidence. So, what is confidence, right? So, we may look at confidence as being you not being afraid to say something, you've been able to step up to whatever the challenge may be, and things of that nature. But we're going to go a little bit deeper today, and we're going to try to develop this characteristic using some simple tools and some simple information that can help it be developed the correct way and work along with our second topic, which is charisma. So, the first thing you have to do when you want to become a confident person, you have to identify your insecurities. Now, this is not a relatively easy task to do, but when you do it, you have to be open and honest about what your insecurities are. So, as you start to think about what you're insecure in yourself about, you need to write these things down. Because once you put it on paper, it becomes more real. It's not just in your head. You can see it every day, and you can begin to work on the things that you wrote down. So, the first step we want to do in our process of becoming confident is identify our insecurities, be realistic about them, honest about them, and write them down. Second thing, don't ever allow yourself to believe that you are inferior to anyone. I see this a lot in my occupation. I see this a lot in work environments where a person may see a VIP or a CEO of a company or something of that nature, and they look at their lifestyle, how they live, the kind of car they drive, and they automatically almost like put themselves beneath them and almost an inferior status. You never ever want to do that. Um, you never want to believe that you're inferior to anyone because that would directly affect your confidence. So, are you saying that if that person walked up to you, you couldn't talk to them like you would a normal person? That should not be the case. We all are created here on this earth. We all live in this one planet. So you should have the confidence to be able to speak your mind to anyone. We're all created equal. So never believe that you're inferior to anyone. So if you're doing that, stop that today. That needs to stop today. Okay. The next thing we want to look at is who you surround yourself with, your friends and your family. So you need to be open with them as well. Let them know the type of things that you may be struggling with when it comes to your confidence. When you do this, you can get filled with courage from them because you gather support from them, right? These are not just normal people that are around you, but people that you can trust. That's why I say your friends and your families. I take that word friend as more than just someone you know or an acquaintance, but someone who is trustworthy and will tell you the truth and that you can tell the truth too. So those kind of people that you surround yourself with can give you support, right? So closest people in your life. So don't be afraid to let them know that what you're struggling with when it comes to confidence. Okay, next, laugh in the face of perfection. Why do I say that? Because no one's perfect. Can you laugh at yourself? Can you laugh at what you say are your insecurities and make them a strength instead of a weakness? You have to be able to do that. Don't never take yourself so seriously that where you cannot laugh at yourself. Okay, never do that. The next thing, which kind of ties into that, is being grateful and counting your blessings. Right? We all have a lot of great things in our lives that it's almost like the good news, bad news, right? People focus on the bad, but we have a lot of great things that take place in our lives. Focus on the blessings and count them, right? Fill yourselves with wonder at all the great things, people, and opportunities that you're surrounded with. Start to identify those things, right? Don't just gloss over it. Or don't, because a lot of times we are going so fast in this life that we don't even take the opportunity to think about what's really going on, what's close to us, the opportunities that we're presented with, and different things of that nature. So I would task you to like really look at your life and count your blessings. Um, Okay, so here's another thing. When you're not feeling confident, fake it. You ever heard that before? So I am a retired soldier, right? And I remember when I went to basic training, that's the first time I heard that. I won't tell you what year that was because that kind of be giving my age away. But if you watch the episode or part one, you would have heard my age in there. But I was told the term "fake it till you make it." So what does that mean? Fake it till you make it. That means it may be something that you do not really want to do or have a desire to do, but if you just fake it, instead of the glass being half empty, the glass is now half full. And once you live in that enough, you will start to see the positive in those things, right? So you want to fake it until you make it, right? You'll be surprised at how pretending to be confident can quickly become a real thing, right? So fake it till you make it. And another thing I'm gonna say about confidence is helping others. There's no teacher like teaching, right? So if you see other people that you feel and you're close enough to where you can be honest and open with them, and that you can share with them positive things about them that will get them to be more confident and more open. That's a great thing to do. It's a plane flying over here. But that's a great thing to do, right? So there's no teacher like teaching. So you will get a lot of that out of that. And what I've learned over life is one of the reasons why I do this podcast is those things that you can do to help others are the most rewarding and the best feelings that you can get in life. So help others. Okay. Now we're going to move on to the tying link for confidence, and that's going to be charisma. So a lot of people look at charisma and they think about an outward appearance or how you look and the perception of other people, how they see you. But we're going to go a little bit deeper than just the surface visualization. We're going to talk about the first thing is learning to relax. So you want to maintain a loose body and a clear mind, and that helps you stay settled and your now earned confidence. Because we just looked at confidence and a lot of different things we wanted to do there. So now we're going to the next level, which is going to be charisma. So to be able to exude that confidence and the different things you want to portray, the first thing you're going to need to do is relax, okay? And maintain a loose body and a clear mind. That's the first thing you want to do. One of the second things we want to look at is getting in touch with your emotions. So my second oldest son, he is an artist, right? So as an artist, and I used to be in art and used to do a lot of artwork and things of that nature, but as an artist, you get inspired by something, right? And that could be something you see, but we're going to talk about emotional states right now. So if I got inspired through an emotional state that drove me to create this artwork, right? And I did this artwork and I presented it. And for those who see it, what I really want them to get out of it is how maybe I was feeling when I did this piece of art. It's almost like a movie, right? You go to a movie, right? They present this art to you. You go through the movie, and you at the end of the movie, it's like, okay, wow, that was great, or you didn't like it, whatever. But it's almost the same type of thing, right? So an artist is really someone who's trying to communicate, right? And so when we learned in communications is as a sender of the information, which is a communication flow, going to you who's a receiver, I want you to understand it the same way I'm trying to give it to you. So it's like you interpret what I'm giving to you in the hopes that you understand it the same way I was trying to give it to you. So that's getting in touch with your emotions. When you speak, you want to speak with conviction, and your body language should match that. I've seen a lot of times where even me teaching a class, I see a lot of eyes on me, but the eyes, some eyes may be glazed over. There may be eyes that are not on me, although they're awake and almost an attentive posture. Their mind may be somewhere else, right? So you have to be able to, your body language needs to convey exactly what you got going on. You shouldn't be double-minded. So that's why I said, you need to relax and then maintain a loose body, and a clear mind, right? So don't be double minded. Your body language and expressions need to match the words that are coming out of your mouth, right? Because you want it to be something to where people are grasping, because as human beings, right, we know there's different forms of communication. We have verbal and we have nonverbal. So, if someone's not saying anything or they have their arms crossed, normally that's a barrier to communication and different things. Not maintaining eye contact when speaking to you, that can be a barrier as well. So we want to make sure that when we speak with conviction, that our body language matches that. So I'm portraying like I really want you to get this information, okay? Now, this next one, I want you to put like 3 asterisks beside, because this is very, very, very important. And you've heard it before, but we're going to talk about it again. And the phrase is, think before you speak. So taking time to gather your thoughts can actually draw your audience in, and don't be afraid of a little silence when you're doing this. Okay, so what are we saying? So think about a comedian on stage. He's going to tell a joke. Now, if he just came out on stage, you guys were clapping, he just went through his joke like super fast, punchline, and you're like, okay, your brain is still trying to catch up, like, okay, what just happened, right? But a good comedian, or a good storyteller sets the scene for you, right? Will lead you down the path, will find those like elements that everyone can identify with. And then there's a pause. And as that pause takes place, your mind is wondering, like, okay, what's next? Oh, I think he's might going to say this, or she might be about to say that. Okay, where's this going? See, those different things that come up, which keeps you what? Focused and in tune to what's being said. And then that punchline comes and it closes the deal. So you want to definitely think before you speak, and don't be afraid to pause. All right. And the last thing I'm gonna say on charisma is treat your audience or whoever you're speaking to as equals. So you don't want to pander or patronize them, because sometimes with knowledge, people can get an air of superiority about themselves and then start talking down to people. You never want to talk down to people. You want to make sure that your language is consistent with trying to understand and communicate effectively with everyone. So don't pander or patronize. You want to listen attentively to their questions, their complaints, and their contributions. If you respect your audience, they'll love you. I respect you guys. So like, share, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff at the end of the video. Thanks. Okay, so let's go into the last section, which is going to be competence. So there's 3 stages or 3 different things I'm going to talk about in competence, which is it's not going to be incredibly long. The first thing is going to be knowledge. The second one is going to be skills. And the third, but not least, is going to be attributes. So what do I mean when I say knowledge? So what is knowledge? Knowledge is information, theories, facts, procedures, and ability to apply them to different situations. Okay, so remember, we're talking about being competent, right? So think about what I just said: information, theories, facts, and procedures, and ability to apply them to different situations. So there's an implied task here, right? Because to get information, theories, and facts, that means you have to do what? Some type of research, right? Some type of learning, maybe institutional learning, schools, college, things of that nature, reading. So if you want to be competent in something, that means you have to study it, right? You have to read about it. You have to learn about it. You have to listen to other people talk about it. That way you can become competent in it, okay? The second thing we're going to talk about is going to be skills. So what does skills mean? So for you, having a skill means doing something well, and skills are developed through training and practice. So as you see in competence, the overall thing that's encompassed in this is some type of work activity, right? You doing something. So if you want to be a highly skilled basketball player, guess what you have to do? You have to train and practice. You want to be a highly skilled lawyer? Train and practice. You want to be highly skilled at anything, you have to train and practice in it, right? That's how you develop skill sets. So You want to have confidence, charisma, you want to have that competency or being competent, train and practice in it. Okay. And the last one we're going to talk about, I'm just glancing at my notes really quick, is attributes. The characteristics of what you think, do, and feel. And I'm going to sum this all up into a simple phrase called a can do attitude, right? In life, you're going to be faced with a lot of problems, right? To become that problem solver, you have to have a can do attitude, right? So, what does that mean? Especially when it comes to competence, any problem that may be out there, especially in the age of the internet, I have ability to research, study, and find the information, right? To be able to start the process of the problem solving that I'm faced with, right? So that is key, right? Competence revolves around work, things that you can do or things that you need to do to make yourself competent. So being able to do research, find out information, and utilize it effectively is all a key structure when it comes to competence. So, young men, I will task you as I'm about to close this session to look at some of these steps that I've outlined. If you can't remember them, just rewind the video, press play again, and you will see that confidence, charisma, and competence can make you a very balanced young man and or woman. But this series is based around young men, my target audience for this. And I want to see you continue to grow, continue to move forward, and to push on and become the best and the brightest young man that we have in this day and age. So before I sign off, remember to like, share, subscribe, even leave a comment. I have a couple of different topics that I'm going to talk about in the last portion of the Young Man 101 series. But going from there, I'm going to want to address some different topics. So if you have some suggestions, please put those out there. And if you do subscribe, at the end of the year, I will be picking a random subscriber to send a very special gift to. So I'll see you next time. Again, thank you for joining me. I'm Kevin Shaw, and this is You Asked. Peace.